When you experience an emotional wound and some time has passed, you might think that you've healed, but remnants of this pain are actually left behind. Self-pity, remorse, rage, envy, depression, hatred. These are all manifestations of the pain body. I first learned about this concept of the emotional pain body through Eckart Tolle's work. Anytime you experience a new wound, these remnants that are left, they become part of your emotional pain body, enlarging it. All emotional pain that you've ever suffered in your lifetime accumulates and forms part of this pain body. This residue of pain forms an inner energy field of old but alive emotion that exists within us. Everyone's pain bodies are different. Some people's inner pain bodies can be heavier than others based on how burdened they are to their past emotional pain or how prone to negativity they are. Your pain body starts to form in early childhood, and it's these childhood pains that form the foundation of our pain body. Powerful emotional pain is very, very difficult to process as a child, so it ends up forming not only the foundation, but the bulk of our pain body. Your emotional pain body, it's like a parasite. It feeds on emotional suffering. So it acts in a way to keep you suffering. It wants you to be miserable because this is how it survives. Anytime you experience emotional pain, your pain body becomes replenished. It feeds on it. It then deliberately generates negative thoughts and emotions so it can sustain itself and grow even more. People who are deeply unhappy have a pain body that is constantly active. Whereas for others, it's dormant and it only becomes active when it's triggered. It can be triggered by various things, like even a seemingly innocent remark that brings up memory of your past emotional pain. For example, have you ever snapped at someone and then later realized you probably overreacted and then you felt even kind of embarrassed afterwards? But when you look back at the time, you just felt so angry and so overwhelmed and so hurt. You might have even responded by verbally attacking them or withdrawing and wanting to be left alone. In that moment, you were identified with your pain body. You were experiencing the depths of your emotional hurt from the past. Your reaction, it wasn't in line with the person's remark. It was instead in proportion to your emotional pain body within. Hey, just wanted to jump in to say that if you're finding this video helpful, please subscribe so you can watch the next one too. Okay, let's get back into it. Emotion is the body's reaction to a certain idea or thought. Emotion can be based on a real experience or even an imaginary one. These ideas in our brains that generate these negative emotions are often pre-verbal. They're not even necessarily in our consciousness or something we can articulate out loud. These unconscious assumptions generate emotions in our bodies, which in turn generate further thoughts or actions. A negative emotion is basically poison for our body. It disrupts our body's balance and harmony, and the pain body is the carrier for these negative emotions. So what should we do about it? This whole process is not something we're typically aware of. We're only aware of feeling upset or angry, which is the consequence to the pain body being activated. As you become more self-aware, the goal is to be able to recognize when the pain body has been activated and then recognize its patterns. This self-awareness helps you become less controlled by stimuli. Rather than having a reactive relationship with our emotions, we can instead step back and observe and then thoughtfully choose our response. When you do this, you can ultimately live a happier and more peaceful life. What Tolle recommends in his work, and this has worked for me, is to consciously observe the pain body in action. Of course, this takes practice, but basically, when you notice yourself thinking negative thoughts, which then lead into negative emotions, disidentify with them. Be the watcher of them as if you're sitting up above them and looking down on them. Notice them and notice what they're trying to make you think about yourself. Notice their exaggerations and how persistent they are at trying to keep you in a negative mind state. Notice how your negative thoughts actively try to keep you sad, and they actually even try to make you more sad. When you observe your negative thoughts in this way, they lose strength. Your pain body is no longer controlling your thoughts. You are. And as you get better and better at doing this, your emotional pain body dissolves. This concept of the emotional pain body was unlike anything else I've read about, and it's been a really helpful way for me to manage my negative emotions. I hope this video has helped you, and at the very least, I hope it's given you some insight into this concept. Here's another video that I think you might also enjoy.